increase in prices of commodity. President Tinubu sends new bill to National Assembly. Senegalese President Faye meets Tinubu in Aso Rock. Ekiti State Governor yet to return from 4-day U.S. trip after 2 weeks. Senate Chief Whip speaks on politicians' corruption being too small. And Emirates Airlines reveals date to resume flight operations in Nigeria. Details now. The world news begins with the House of Representatives ordering its Committee on Commerce to investigate the daily increase in prices of commodity in the country. This development is coming on the heels of the adoption of a motion by House of Rep member Justice Onwakulusi, PDP Delta, on the need to awaken Price Control Board of Nigeria to its constitutional responsibilities at plenary today. While presenting the motion, Onwakalusi lamented that the Price Control Board has abandoned its responsibility of controlling commodity prices and had left the task to the marketers at the detriment of consumers. He said that the take-home pay of workers is yet to be increased, but the country was witnessing daily increases in prices of commodities. The lawmaker asserted that the act of increasing prices of commodities by marketers was affecting low-income earners. This, according to him, was because individuals who were unable to afford things at exorbitant price could resort to other means or steal. Onwakalusi expressed worry that the board had failed to take action on the arbitrary increase in price of commodities by businessmen. Adopting the motion, the House mandated the Committee on Commerce to investigate the daily increase in prices of commodities in the country and report within 4 weeks for further legislative action. Meanwhile, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has transmitted a national anti-doping bill to the Nigerian Senate for consideration and passage. Deputy Senate President Barau Jibrin, who presided over the session, read the president's letter during plenary today. Tinubu in the letter requested for a quick passage of the anti-doping bill before the next Olympic Games in July this year. He explained that the bill is a cardinal requirement for Nigeria to achieve compliance with the World Anti-Doping Code and the international standard of good compliance by its signatories. President Tinubu added that the passage of the bill will also help Nigeria avoid certain sanctions. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is currently hosting the new president of Senegal, Bassirou Diomaye Faye, at the State House in Abuja. The AP News gathered that the meeting is a courtesy call on President Tinubu by the newest member of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government. Faye, who was sworn in on April 2, 2024, arrived at the forecourt of the State House at about 3 p.m. and was ushered in by pipers from the military band. He was thereafter taken to the president's office for a closed-door session with Tinubu. In another development, Ekiti State Governor Biodun Oyebanji has failed to return to Nigeria nearly 2 weeks after departing for a 4-day conference in Texas, United States. Governor Oyebanji left Nigeria on May 5, 2024 to attend the 16th edition of the U.S.-Africa Business Summit, organized by the Corporate Council on Africa in Dallas, Texas, scheduled between May 6 and 9, 2024. Although the U.S. trip was officially announced by the state government, there has been no official information on the governor's engagements or meetings since the conference ended on May 9. The statement indicated that Oyebanji would hold discussions with critical stakeholders and business leaders in the U.S., but no details or pictures of such meetings have been provided. In another development, Chief Whip of the Senate Ali Ndume has disclosed that corruption in Nigeria's politics is people-driven and should not result in any serious punishment. Ndume stated this while speaking on the death penalty as a deterrent for those caught with drugs. Speaking during an appearance on a Monitor television program, Ndume admitted that politicians steal and share with the people. He argued that when politicians' corruption is compared to others, it is a small one. According to him, and I quote, quote, "If you compare us, politicians, to all the corruption, it is very small. Our corruption is people-driven. If you steal it, you will go and share it with the people. If you don't, you are not coming back for 4 years. There is no reason for stealing. I have been to the National Assembly. I can't say because we're on television now and not telling the truth. If the death penalty is supposed to be included in corruption, I will support it. But you don't go and kill someone that stole 1 million or 1 billion. No. But someone who steals 1 trillion of government money should be killed." The senator said he supports death penalty or death punishment for drug dealers. Now, in a recent development, Emirates Airlines has announced that it will resume flight services and operations to Nigeria from October 1, 2024. The Deputy President and Chief Commercial Officer of the airlines, Adnan Kazim, made this known in a statement today in Dubai. He said the airline will be operating a daily service between Lagos and Dubai and offering customers more choices and connectivity from Nigeria's largest city to and through Dubai. Kazim said the airline's management thanked the Nigerian government for their partnership and support in re-establishing this route, and they look forward to welcoming passengers back on board. Meanwhile, the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, revealed recently that the federal government lost 82%, which is equivalent to 10 billion naira revenue that ought to accrue from airport toll gates under old rules. Keyamo revealed this to State House correspondents earlier this week at the end of a 2-day meeting of the Federal Executive Council. The minister lamented that the ministry accumulated 82% in the negative from the complementary e-tags printed by the ministry, noting that 82% of the e-tags are given free of charge to VIPs. The minister lamented that due to the policy of exemption, the ministry only makes about 100 million naira instead of making about 260 million naira from a particular airport gate every month. Let's take a listen to the Minister of Aviation, Festus Keyamo.
We presented 2 memos and got 2 approvals. The first approval that we sought and obtained is in respect of mandatory payments of access fees by all visitors at our federal airport toll gates nationwide. No more exemption. No more exemption. When we came to office, we met a tradition on the ground where at the end of the year, all manners of VIPs would approach us for what they call complimentary ticket, complimentary e-tags or complimentary stickers, whereby you see them coming into the airports, our airports nationwide. They don't pay the access fees. They don't pay for parking. They don't pay for essential services at the airports. And they are VIPs. And I told myself and my team, I said, not under my watch. It will not happen. If this tradition had been existing for years, I will not allow it to happen. Because it is inconceivable that in our country, it is the VIPs that don't pay for services, but it is the poor men that pay for services. The VIPs who are supposed to have money don't pay for services, but they compel poor men to pay for services. And I said, no. So I got my team together. I said, we need the backing of council to compel everybody. In fact, guess what? Our memo says, with the exception of the president and the vice president. The president overruled me. He said he and the vice president will pay. He said everybody. Let me give you the shocking statistics. Shocking. The negative figure that we get at the end of the day from the complimentary e-tags we get is 82% negative, in the negative. In other words, where we're supposed to have 100% income from these e-tags that we print, it is only 18% that will now end up selling. That is how bad it is. 18%. And 82% of these e-tags are given out free of charge to VIPs. So imagine the loss in my sector. And I ask myself, which other sector will I go to that they give me anything free? Is it because I'm a VIP that you say that in FCT I should not pay land charges, that they will waive it for me? I pay for that sector. I pay my power. I pay for power. Yes? Yes, I pay for every other thing.
Pay for NTA.
I pay for information. Yes, I buy my papers. So why would everybody now come to my own sector? I want to get free passage. Not possible. That is how bad it is. So, and this has led in the past to loss of billions of naira, not millions, billions of naira annually because of this. And yet, our airport infrastructure, you know, they are decaying. I am helpless. I'm looking for concessionaires. I'm looking for help for decaying infrastructure. And they will be the first to cry out, these same VIPs, why are your toilets like this? Why are your toilets smelling? Why can't you do this? Why? They are the same people, but they don't pay for the services. So if we want improved infrastructure at the airport, we must pay for services. I'll give you another example. In one gate alone in Lagos State, one of the access gates, based on the count of the barrier going up and down, you know, it counts, it's like a machine that counts. We are supposed to be making 250 or 60 million from that gate every month. That gate, because of exemptions, they return to us less than 100 million every month. Loss. And that also, of course, breeds corruption too, because now you cannot track, you cannot have the audit trail of those free tags that you now give to our people to give out to people. Either they sell it at half price, because in a year, the ones we sell, yearly tags, at time maybe 1 million or 1 million plus, that gives you access to parking, to access to everything, so nobody will tow your car. So we can't keep an audit trail of these tags that we give out. Some will now go and sell it at half price. Some of the, you know, maybe civil servants or those will give it to give out to people. So there was really no need to continue with this. I can go on and give you the figures, but it has led to a massive loss in the past. And
And you just listened to the Minister of Aviation, Festus Keyamo, speaking on the need for everybody, all and sundry, regardless of their hierarchy or status, to pay toll gates, regardless of wherever they come from, considering the fact that they have recorded huge losses in that sector. Right now, it's time for a news analysis segment where I have right here in the studio Mr. Peter Anosike, who is a political, national and social affairs commentator. He's also an economic strategist and one of the best-selling authors of a book, actually, across Africa. Mr. Peter Anosike, good evening and welcome to the World News at 6.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I appreciate you joining us today. I'm going to start off with the elephant in the room. It would not make sense for me not to start off with it. Ali Ndume, the Senate Chief Whip, via a Monitor television program, I think last night, said that he will not advise a death penalty on politicians who steal. According to him, he says politicians stealing is small compared to other careers. For example, 1 million or 2 million, 3 million is not something that should be punishable by death. But if it is 1 trillion naira, fine. And according to him, he says because politicians share their money, that only those who can actually worth that punishable by death are those who do not share the money. This is what was said on a live television program. Politicians share money, and that so long as it's not beyond maybe 1 trillion naira, then it shouldn't be a case of being punished by death. What is your take on that?
Well, for me, what I will go with is his assertion that corruption in Nigeria is people driven. I agree with him, because I have a friend who was a former House of Representatives member in Oshodi, Esondo.
Okay.
I was doing media stuff for him. And I know of at an occasion he has to share 5,000 bags of rice.
Okay.
He has to share 5,000 bags of rice. It was on during Christmas. He shared to Christians. I know of another time he shared 2,500 rams during a Muslim festival. Where is this money coming from? It's not from his pocket. And even if a bag of rice is selling for, let me say, 30,000 naira, then do 30,000 times 5,000. It's a huge sum of money. That is coming from government purses.
Okay.
And he is doing that for another tenure. He's not for that Christmas.
But what I'm trying to get from your response is this. Corruption is corruption. What he is saying is that he doesn't advocate a death penalty for a politician who steals like 1 million or 2 million naira. He's advocating that their punishment shouldn't be by death or by hanging. So my question is, literally on national television, you're saying that it's okay if politicians steal, regardless of whether it's people driven. That's the interpretation. Because if you let me read out what he said to you. It's quite important for us to quote what he says. He says, if you compare us politicians to all the corruption, it is very small. Our corruption is people driven. If you steal it, you will go and share it with the people. If you don't, you are not coming back for 4 years. There is no reason for stealing. So let me take you back to Okeze Ikpeazu of Abia State. Monies that he supposedly wrote down for projects that they cannot find. You also have Yahaya Bello, a couple of other Orji Uzo Kalu. These are past governors who are involved in financial malfeasance. And are we saying that
all the governors are involved?
Okay, fine.
All the governors are involved.
We're talking about those that, their cases are with the EFCC or that are under investigation. You hear this humongous amount of money. So we would say that all these properties and trillions of naira, they're all people driven. When they are invested in personal businesses of theirs, contracts awarded to their friends and not to the people that are meant to help govern or extend a dividend of democracy. I need to understand that concept.
Well, for me, corruption is corruption. Whether it is 100,000 naira or 100 million naira, is corruption.
Okay.
It is crime against the state. But we must bear in mind that politicians are not the only corrupt people in the society.
Obviously.
Civil servants are far more corrupt than the politicians.
Oh, really?
No politician can take out 1 naira from any ministry, from any agency, without the assistance or connivance of the civil servants. But the only difference between the civil servants and the politicians is that politicians live by perception.
Okay.
They want to be seen as rich.
All right.
Understand me? But these civil servants are more conservative.
All right.
They will build mansions in the cities. Now build the bus quarters, stay in the bus quarters, and rent those mansions to the politicians.
Okay.
So EFCC are after those who are living big. They will want to show that they've arrested a senator, a House of Reps, than a common civil servant.
Mr. Peter Anosike, my issue with Ali Ndume's statement on national television is the way it was phrased. Agreed, corruption is people driven, regardless of wherever political portfolio they occupy, right? Even in private sectors is very huge. In companies and organizations, corruption is in depth. But the question is, you come in on national television to say that the monies that politicians steal is too small compared to other careers. In other words, what you're saying that a death penalty should not be issued to a politician for stealing because there are other people in other sectors who steal more than them, meaning that a death penalty is too huge a crime. But then for those who peddle drugs, which of course a couple of them do, then the death penalty is, it should be attached to that crime. Crime is crime. Corruption is corruption. If you peddle drugs, the same. If you steal taxpayers' money, you ought to be punished. Would you say that politicians stealing taxpayers' money, that the term punishable by death is too huge a deal for them as a punitive measure?
They are committing more crime than than the drug traffickers, and they should be punished more severely. Understand? Because they are stealing the commonwealth of the people. It is the commonwealth of the people that, so there's no justification for stealing.
Exactly.
No justification. In China, they are killed, they are executed. Understand? And the Sharia, they cut their hands. It doesn't matter how much you steal.
Okay.
So Ndume shouldn't try to defend or kind of categorize corruption.
Corruption or crime.
Corruption is corruption.
Okay.
Whether it is 1 trillion or 1 million, they shouldn't toy with people's taxes. They shouldn't toy with people's mandates. So, if drug pushers are being given death sentence,
yes,
politicians who steal public money should be given the same thing.
Okay.
Even though we know that we are just talking for talking's sake, they are not going to implement it, because you cannot enact a law that is going to catch up with you one day. Understand me? The Senate cannot implement death sentence for politicians, but we know that whoever steals people's money deserves death.
All right, because it's quite would I say ironical when you prefer death penalty to those who peddle drugs, when a couple of political elites are involved in that kind of lifestyle. All right, let's head on to INEC. The Independent National Electoral Commission has finally broke its silence on the controversy trailing the status of the members of the Rivers State House of Assembly that crossed from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress. Now, ever since this whole situation in Rivers State has been ongoing, there have been talks about why has INEC not conducted another election for the members who defected to the APC, considering the fact that they're saying their seats are vacant. Well, INEC has broken its silence and has been able to express where they're coming from. Mahmoud Yakubu formally reacted to it, as in reacted to the remarks on their second quarterly consultative meeting with media organizations, which was held in Abuja on Wednesday. And they stated that the commission is waiting for the law court to make pronouncement on their positions before taking appropriate steps. He further explained that there are 32 members of the Rivers State House of Assembly elected during the 2023 general election, and that the commission has no business with the resignation of the assembly members. So he urged those resigning to address their letters to the clerk of the assembly, not INEC. So this is what he's stating. 32 members were elected in the last general election into Rivers State House of Assembly. We have been bombarded with letters from those emerging as speakers, and even the PDP urging us to declare their seats vacant. So INEC is saying it's not their business what is going on with those members who defected. All they know is that they're waiting for the court to give the go-ahead to declare formally that those seats are vacant. Why has the court not declared that? Although the court has said those members should stop flouting around or representing that they're active lawmakers in Rivers State. What's your take with what INEC said in defense?
They did not resign. Let us get it into correct perspective. They defected to another party. And Section 109 of the Nigerian Constitution said that votes cannot be transferred from one party to another. So once a House of Reps or a state assembly member defects to another party, he automatically loses his position. Okay. So what we have in Rivers State are impostors. Those of them that defected to another party has lost that mandate.
But according to INEC, they are waiting for the court to do the needful. According to them, they are saying that they are aware of what is going on, but they are waiting for the court to make its pronouncement before they act accordingly. So why is the court delaying?
No, a court in Port Harcourt has issued that statement. Okay. Understand me? A court in Port Harcourt has issued that statement. And again, we already have a precedent in Ebonyi State and in Cross River State.
Yes.
Those that defected with Ayede to APC, not their seats.
Exactly. In fact, there will be a new election for those seats.
Sure.
That's why I'm asking in the case of Rivers, why was Rivers not mentioned?
No, the issue is this. Fubra waited that to get his Supreme Court verdict. Understand me? So it's after he got it, he now become an authentic executive governor.
Okay.
That's when he started acting tough. He shouldn't have done it earlier than that.
Okay.
Understand me?
Okay.
So, but I know that either a week ago, a court in Port Harcourt told them that they
should stop parading themselves.
Yeah,
that's what the court actually said.
They shouldn't even convene. They shouldn't even sit.
Okay, they shouldn't sit. But the thing is, according to INEC, until the court declares those seats vacant, yes, the court has said they should stop parading themselves as lawmakers. Why has their seat not been declared vacant? Because INEC said it is only from there that they can now declare a new election for those empty seats. I feel
court is going to do it.
Okay.
It will be done.
You think so?
It will be done.
Because they're taking their good time. Is there something they're waiting for? Are they waiting for the president to give them a directive?
The president has no hand in this. This is a constitutional matter.
Exactly, but the president got himself involved the first time. So is it possible that his influence could change anything?
The president draws his powers from the constitution, the same way the governor draws his own powers from the constitution. The president is not superior to the constitution.
Okay.
So there's nothing that a president's declaration cannot supersede that of the constitution. So those people are imposters. They have not that mandate, and the INEC should be preparing to conduct another election in State House of Assemblies in Rivers State.
That's why I'm asking, because they have actually declared for other states, but Rivers was excluded. The court in Rivers has said that those lawmakers should stop parading themselves as lawmakers for now. But then INEC is saying until the court says otherwise, until the court officially says those seats are vacant, then INEC can conduct fresh elections for those seats. So why is the court waiting? Or is that something, a petition that needs to be written that has not been written? That's it. And they're asking that the letters being sent to them should not be sent to them. It should be sent to the clerk. So there's a lot of back and forth. And you can't ask the president to intervene because the president has said he's not taking any side, regardless of his interference the first time.
No. This is a constitutional matter. There's nothing that the president can do about it.
Okay.
Because Buhari should have also intervened in the issue of Omahi and the State Assembly and Ben Ayade and his own State of Assembly.
Right.
Because this is a constitutional issue, it is beyond the president.
All right, Mr. Peter Anosike, I want to say thank you so much for taking your time to explain some of the questions being posed at you. I sincerely appreciate your appearing on the World News at 6.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. You're welcome. And now to wrap up, here again are the top stories. You heard that House of Reps mandates investigation into daily increase in prices of commodities. President Tinubu sends new bill to the National Assembly. Senegalese President fire meets Tinubu in Aso Rock. Ekiti State Governor yet to return from 4-day U.S. trip after 2 weeks. Senate Chief Whip speaks on politicians' corruption being too small. And Emirates Airlines reveal date to resume flight operations in Nigeria. That's a wrap on the World News at 6. My name is Esther Wachuku. Good evening and thank you for listening.